So that's a fact of life, and everybody makes a call. Actually, I sometimes wonder, you get down from a phone, from a plane, the moment the plane lands, everybody is calling home that I have landed. Anyway, if you would not have landed, it would have already been there on the TV that the plane has crashed. So anyway, you don't need to tell that you have landed. So how many rupees are wasted? 1 rupee per call. Now that 1 rupee of telling a nonsensical message, everybody says that. You can the moment the plane lands, they will say I have landed. The moment this plane is taking off, I am taking off. I mean, this data doesn't have any meaning. 5 years back, nobody used to tell. And everybody used to fly and come back home. There was no problem. The problem is not that whether you should tell or not. When you can talk and give 1 rupee more for a phone call, I think everybody can pay a couple of rupees more for a cost of water. What Dr. Tare, when he started out, he said very importantly is the cost of water. If you want to promote recycle and reuse, the cost of water is important. Today, water is a free commodity. Now, if you are charging 4 rupees, I'll tell you, in Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporation, they declared that we will not increase the cost of water for next 25 years. Now you are saying for next 25 years you will not increase the cost of water. I mean, if this is the policy, then you will never be able to recycle this water. Because anybody, if you are trying to sell sewage, will buy it for half a cost. Now, if you give me, if I am getting raw water for 4 rupees, I will say, okay, sewage 50 paise mein de do. Now, that 50 paise may not be even worthwhile as what he calculated of the probability of the project. If you sell the raw water at 4 rupees, you don't need to do all those probability calculations because it is anyway not going to be viable.
That is for a capital investor.
Agreed. But when your cost is 4 rupees, all these calculations are not required. It is anyway not going to be viable. That is required when your cost is say 20 rupees. So chalo, theek hai, we can have some dynamic models and all. Yeah, but drinking water supply is also not viable. Where is the question of treating a wastewater? And when you treat wastewater and you sell it for 2-3 rupees, 4 rupees, nobody takes. Why would anybody take when water is free? So the same people, now you put a scare on them. Now what is the problem with the water? There is no problem. I have seen people go to a 5-star hotel and buy a mineral water, and that too wo bhi nahi, wo kaun sa leta hai wo, there is one Avian, wo koi France hai. There is a French water, 600 rupees bottle. I don't know. See, and the same guy who comes out, he doesn't want to pay 1 rupee more for the water, then they will say, no, the government is charging more. Now, with this attitude, that cost of water and it is not going to happen. Now, what I can only suggest, to conclude, I can suggest one way what has been done in Europe. What in Europe they have done is, I was with McKinsey Consulting and we were discussing about India and Europe, the differences. One thing what they said is what can be possibly achieved is you have different prices for water for different areas. See, like you go to, I don't know how many people are from Bombay, but you go to Cuff Parade area and all, people pay 10 lakh rupees for parking your car. People pay. And the flat cost is anywhere between minimum cost would be about 5 crore. A person who buys a 5 crore flat, he buys it very well knowing that he has to pay, it's a cost. He knows that it's a cost of living there. At least they can afford to pay higher cost. See, basically the water, if you price it according to the possibly rates of the locality, those people who are staying there, like I can't afford to buy that flat, so I don't stay there. Means if you ask me, everybody would like to stay there. Why don't you stay there? Because you can't afford it. Means if you have to afford, you have to think of other things also. So if you have a differential pricing, see it is like this. If the people in the slums also pay 4 rupees or possibly equivalent to that, and a person who can afford it also pays. Means you have a swimming pool, you have a 27-storied house, still you pay 4 rupees only. Now, to build that house, you spend that much amount of more money. A differential pricing structure could be possible, which will make this water supply viable. If you make the water supply viable, this wastewater treatment wastewater recycling can be viable. And today, that's the only solution. See, I'll tell you, I was in Tirupur. We talk about the polluter pays. You know, in Tirupur, when we were discussing, I was in a meeting and all these textile dyers were there. Everybody had these mineral water bottles on their table, and We said, okay, this treatment cost would be 22 rupees. The moment I said about 22 rupees, people thought as if means the world has come to an end. And now our towel, nobody will buy, nobody will do this. I said 22 rupees, I am not saying per liter, I am saying per meter cube. I said, the person said, no, it is very high. I said, you are paying 10,000 rupees, 1 liter water, you are paying 10, and here 22 rupees. And what the hell you have cost? Anyway, you will close down. See, we are not giving you a choice. We are giving you only, it's not whether you want to do it or you don't want to do it. You anyway have to do it, because either you do it today or you will anyway perish tomorrow. Finally, they did. But it took a lot of convincing. Basically, see, and basic issue is, see, legislation is one thing, but finally, Indians are very apt, at getting around the law. And I'll just give a humorous tale, nothing to offend anybody's sentiments. But it is like this, when I was just thinking why we do this. Once in India what happens is you make a law, people will find a way out of it. And that is because from the childhood we have been trained like that. Everybody has been trained like that. So you would have heard that story of Narsimha Avatar. That Hiranyakashipu made a law. He should be neither in the day, in the night, nor an animal, nor a man. Such a law was made by Hiranyakashipu. You overcame it, na? The Narsimha Avatar, you circumvented all sorts of laws. So we are very well adapted and very well tuned to overcoming such things. The best thing is, why do you need a legislation at all in the first place? We have to make this a commercial viable proposition. If it is a commercial viable proposition, you don't need a legislation. And if it is commercially not viable, no legislation will anyway be able to do anything on this. I conclude with this. We will continue later. I hope we can have more questions and all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Asolkar. I had a quick follow-up question. I mean, you made an interesting comment. I think basically, if I understood what you were saying, one, we need to look at raising the price of fresh water to make it viable, and you need to bring down the cost of recycled water. You made an interesting comment that to some extent the cost of recycled water is as good as the cost of discharge water. I was wondering, I mean, is that really, is that more of a statement or is that factually correct? And also, is that scale dependent? In terms of the size of
should I respond right away?
Yeah.
See, I'll tell you, I can see, I have seen, gone to several corporations, people have a cost of, like they had conventional plants. What they displayed on their websites and what they have displayed or what they were told us is they spend anywhere between 3 rupees or 4 rupees to about 12 rupees per cubic meter is the cost of operation maintaining that plant and generating a 30 BOD and a 250 COD outlet. Now, we have about 40 plants which we are actually monitoring. In fact, IIT themselves monitor. IIT monitors our plants. The average cost of treatment works out to be about 1 rupee to 1 rupee 50 paisa, maybe around in that range.
That's the treatment cost.
Operation and maintenance cost. If you see operation and maintenance, you add another 50 paisa to that. So about 2 rupees is the operation and maintenance cost which comes to. Now, if you have an operation maintenance cost of 2 rupees, you can definitely price your water, say, about 4 rupees. Right? So you are recovering something. Now, if you are, see, we did this in a very simple way because if you want to sell this water, let us assume that you want to sell the water and I want to sell this water to industry. Industry gets water at 30 rupees. Say MIDC in India, in Maharashtra supplies water at 30 rupees. Now if I am an industrialist, see if you have to sell it to industrialist, you have to think like an industrialist. Right? Our talking big or like moralistic will not actually sell that water. So okay, I am now, if I am an industrialist, I think okay, I am getting fresh water, I am substituting it with say recycled water, which is an inferior quality. Whether theoretically or not theoretically, psychologically I feel it is an inferior quality. You may have in fact, sewage water can be treated to a better standard than drinking water also, at not much cost, but still, nobody will drink it because of a psychological barrier, nothing else. So he will possibly say, okay, 15 rupees or 20 rupees I'll buy. Now we have calculated, like if you want to put up, I am talking of specifically CTEC plant, if you want to put up on a put, see if government doesn't invest, I have invested, I would possibly have about 7 or 8 rupees of per meter cube cost of putting the plant on boot, and then you'll have a couple of rupees of operation cost and all. So maybe at 10 rupees it is completely viable. So if somebody pays me 10 rupees, this plant can be done free of cost, zero pollution, no problem. There is also a conveyance cost of water. So okay, you now go into a cost of say another 5-10 rupees, 5 rupees or 4 rupees, depends on the distance. But it's say 5-6 rupees if you put that conveyance cost. Then the corporation also has to earn something. Now what happens is the problem will be if that corporation doesn't get anything, tomorrow people will start saying that you are making a lot of money. Correct. And there is a big problem. In India actually there is a notion that the businesses should do things free of cost. No, the business should not make money. Now if a business makes money, it's fine, it is good. But that notion is there. So what happens is the corporation also should get a return so that they will allow the business to function properly. Otherwise the corporation may cancel the contract tomorrow. What do you do? You don't have any choice. Now if you add all that, so you need about roughly 15 to 20 rupees as your sale price. Now if you want that 15 to 20 rupees sale price and your treatment cost, like conventional is about 8 rupees, 9 rupees, it's not affordable. So you can't sell it.
Yeah.
That's why it is essential. And this, what I told you, is I have actually told a few corporations that they had told me that their operating cost is 13 rupees. I said, do one thing, you keep give that 13 rupees to me. I will put up a new plant. I will say half of your land. I will say, I will give you a recycled water. And I will give you back 3 rupees. 10 rupees is what is my cost, and I will give you back 3 rupees again. You pay me 13 rupees, you are anyway paying 13. So that is, the critical aspect is to have the lower cost of water. See, if your recycle cost is lower, the more lower you do it, the more sellable.
The more attractive it becomes.
It will be attractive. You tell people, no. See, if there are, like, I'll tell you example of HPCL. I had been to HPCL in Bombay. They are getting water at 48 rupees per meter cube. I told him, what happens if I tell you at 24 rupees? Will you buy? He will save 24 lakh rupees a day. Who will say no? Pardon?
Go on.
So then it becomes a viable proposition. See, when we are talking of all this, what is most critical is we have to make this water viable to the person who is going to buy. Once it is economically viable, you don't need to be doing too much convincing. Otherwise, then you have to keep convincing him.
And my other question was, is this scale dependent? Or what is the variation
Of course,
depending on the size of the plant?
it is definitely scale dependent, because the larger the plants, the cheaper it will be. Now, smaller plants also, see, finally it is a scale dependent up to a small magnitude. It's not that it doesn't become double or triple. The operating cost remains the same, whether you have a large plant or a small plant. The operating cost doesn't change. The capital cost changes, because the smaller plants require a little higher capital investments per MLD or per kg of pollution removed. I would think that's very common knowledge. So if you scale up and up, your cost comes down. And second is the economical viability of the project. Now whether I would like to do it for one MLD plant, for one MLD it might not be feasible. For 100 MLD it becomes feasible, because there is a cost of laying a pipeline, there is a cost of infrastructure development, and also there is a cost or there is a risk of the industry which is going to buy or where I am going to supply lasting.
Absolutely.
So that is a bigger risk. Means if I put up a plant and that industry closes down, whether he closes down or not, I am definitely closed down. So you would not put down.
Sure.
And today what is happening is giving a guarantee and all, like people feel that there is no guarantee. We ask the government to give a guarantee.
Sure.
I don't want to talk more, because everybody just think and go and ask a person that to government you give a guarantee. What happens? But they have to, no? Unless they guarantee, who is going to put money? Now if somebody asks a guarantee, it is like he has done a very big crime, you know. It's like, so that's the situation. This situation has to change.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Asolkar. I think lots of interesting questions, which we'll take up at the end of all the speakers. Now I invite Dr. Onkar Mittal. Dr. Mittal is